And this is Jose Trujillo. I'm a fine art artist, and I want to talk to you today about a very interesting concept that I heard throughout my life, and it never sat well with me. I just didn't understand what it was. But let me just go into it. The concept of burning out. When people say, I want to be careful with that because I don't want to burn out. Or friends or family members or whatever, they say be careful because you might burn out. I think that this concept of burning out is it's just bad information. It was delivered to us by our parents and their parents, and blah blah. And we might even say it to our kids, or we probably say it to our kids. Stop doing that. You're doing it too much. You're too focused on that, and then you're gonna burn out, and you're gonna be, you're not gonna want to do it anymore. What happens, what I've understood that happens, is that that's not the case at all. What happens is that you lose vision, you lose purpose. You never burn out. I've always thought about this artist like Picasso or Rodin, the sculpture guy, and many more artists that created countless pieces of artwork, and it doesn't matter if they had workshops with, in the case of Rodin, with workers or whatever, but they were not only artists, they were entrepreneurs, but they were passionate. They were insatiable, like Thomas Edison. I gotta find that, I gotta be able to make that light bulb or whatever. Once you start seeing this power players, you realize that hey, what is it? And people talk about it and they say, oh, it's because they have a lot of energy. They have a lot of energy. They have a lot of energy because they're focused. I think that people, I'm talking about if you don't have big physical challenges, but if you have, if you don't have those physical challenges, illnesses and things like that, that's a completely other thing, But if you don't have that, and even then, I believe that people find their purpose and become this tremendous power players, in spite of the challenge. But when you hear this whole burning out thing, or when I when I heard it, I was like, wait a minute, it doesn't make any sense, because I feel like a little kid, when I'm painting, when I'm working. I used to be a musician. I used to play guitar. When I'm doing this, I feel like I could do it forever, And yes, there's moments that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put it away, but very small moments, very, an hour, or going to sleep, or it wasn't like, oh, I gotta be careful with it. I gotta only do it so much because then I might burn out. We're talking about human beings. We're not candles. We don't burn out. We don't. Oh, the flame is gone. No, eventually we cease to exist. But that's different than the energy you have. We're this powerhouses. We're this super people and super beings. And we created all this bad information, and we give it to each other. We say, oh no, you know what? Be careful. I wouldn't. Imagine telling that to Michael Jordan. Don't try that hard because you might burn out. Or it just doesn't happen that way. The first time I've ever heard it, and I love reading about entrepreneurs and artists and this and that. No one had ever touched on the subject. It never sat well with me. Why do people burn out? But the first time I heard it was from entrepreneur Grant Cardone. He's a sales expert and entrepreneur, and I love reading his stuff. And he was the first one I ever heard that touched on it. Maybe some other people have, but that I've heard. And he said people don't burn out. What happens is that you lose purpose. And it was like, bam, it's like a light bulb. Of course, I remember when I'm working on something and I'm going full heart at it, and then I start thinking and being afraid and thinking about just being a whiner, just and start nagging about things and be like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. Before I know it, I don't want to do it anymore. And then I feel tired, and then I feel like what's the point, And I have those moments, and sometimes they're longer than moments. Sometimes it's a whole day, and I'm like, I feel lost, Sometimes it's 2 days that's happened to me where I'm like, whoa, I can't even, aim at the canvas. I'm like, what? I feel so out of it. And then I feel, on top of that, I feel tired. So I feel like I burned out. And then I start thinking, maybe I need a vacation. Maybe I need this. Maybe I need to get my mind out of it. Well, really, it's true. You need to get your mind out of it. You need to get your mind out of yourself. But it's not out of whatever you're doing. Whatever you're doing is fine because it's passion. It's you don't. I don't think Michael Jordan went into basketball saying, "Oh, I'm gonna be famous or I'm gonna make so much wealth." He went into it because he was passionate about it, and because he was so passionate about it, fame and wealth and whatever, all of his successes followed him. It was a trickle effect, but it wasn't because he went at it and said, "Oh, well, I'm gonna only work so many hours a day on this because I don't want to burn out." That's ridiculous. We would have never had a Michael Jordan. We would have never had actors like now Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, we would never have anyone like that. B.B. King with a guitar. We would never have musicians like that. We wouldn't have any power players like that if people burned out. So one of the things that how do you fix it? One of the things that has helped me fix this, work at it, is I learned this also from entrepreneur Grant Cardone. He says, you know what? The reason you lose purpose is because you don't remind yourself why you're in it in the first place. So he says, write your goals in the morning and then write your goals at night. Yes, 2 times a day. And I find it, sometimes a little, because it's like everything else. It's something that you have to develop. And you have to, it's persistence. But I find it so helpful. I even talk to my wife about it. Sometimes I over talk to her about it, but I tend to remind myself constantly of why I am in the game. What are my goals? Not your to-do list, not what you have to do today, but your goals, your big goals. Why are you in it? Do you want to? In my case, do I want to create these collections of art? Do I want to share my artwork with as many people as possible in the world? 7 billion people in the world or whatever. Why am I in it? And that I found that keeps my eye on the ball. Whenever I'm feeling, sluggish, tired, and I'm whining, and I'm like, it's not because I'm burned out. I've discovered in myself that it's because I've lost sight of the ball. I lost track. And I have to go find it again. And when I find it, it's like I'm re-energized all over again. Because it's like little kids, they go and play, they don't go, oh, well, I'm tired, I don't want to play anymore. No, they go at it till they go to sleep. And anyone can see that in big players. Big players are like little kids. They go into it and then they because they're passionate. Big player doesn't mean that they're these famous people, although that's how we get to know them. That's how we get to hear them. But it's extremely passionate people. And whatever you do, whether you're, an accountant or whatever it is that you do, you realize that you only have energy when you want to show up to work. I think that you can find this to be true in your life. If maybe it's something else, I don't know, but I found it to be true in my life. Whenever I want to get up and say, I gotta go paint, I can't wait to go to sleep right now, to wake up early and to start painting. And it's like this, it's like like going to see someone you love, I can't wait, and that re-energizes you. As a matter of fact, I don't think energy ever goes away. It just aligns you again with all this energy, and then boom, you go at it again. I hope I didn't bore you with this long video, but I just wanted to touch on that. Okay, next time you don't burn out, you lose interest, you lose sight. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Jose Trujillo, and I'll be talking to you later.